Do you think we'll see him back
No,
next year?
not in a fit.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
Kym, great to have you on the channel here in Monaco. We can safely say, I guess, that you're one of the most well-known photographers in the paddock. Do you only take photos by yourself, or are there more and more people who would like to take a photo with you?
Well, I actually have my son shooting with me here. He comes. Well, last year he did 16 races, and this year he'll do at least 14, because if you do 14 races, you get your permanent pass, and ideally you want a permanent pass. But pretty much it's he and me shooting F1.
Yeah, but are there more and more fans coming to you to take a photo with you?
Oh, selfies, yeah. And some races are more popular than others. Like I don't have many followers in places like, say, China, but once I get to the UK and the US and obviously Australia, yeah, I'm well known. But that's primarily because of YouTube. YouTube has grown my brand like I could never have imagined, and I was pushed into it by my eldest son, who said, you've got to be on YouTube, after he told me to be on Instagram, and I resisted that for some time. Turns out I had no idea. He was right in both instances.
Yeah, even my girlfriend knows you, and she barely follows F1, and I was telling her we were going to speak to you, and she was like, whoa, Kym Illman, that's a fantastic guy.
I remember going back a few years ago, it was 2021, because I had to stay away the whole year from Australia because of COVID rules. And I was in Tirana in Albania at the airport, and someone recognised me, and that's the point I thought, right, this is crazy, that it's an out of the way place, no F1 that weekend. It's great for business.
Yeah, cool. You've got a massive following on Instagram, as we spoke about. We're not only expecting close-ups from cars from you, but it's more like storytelling through photography. How would you describe what sets you apart from other photographers in the paddock?
I don't love shooting cars. I have to shoot cars because I do a weekly book about each race, so I have to have car images in there, and some of my clients require car images, but my real forte is right over here on the other side of that fence in the paddock. That's where I spend the maximum amount of time. I like people. I like photographing them. I like the drivers because they're popular, and people like to hear the behind-the-scenes stories that you don't get from anyone else. And I understand why. It's incredibly difficult to be able to take a photo, a good photo, get it up online quickly, and I'm talking sometimes within 3 minutes of me taking it, and have a little story behind there. There's a lot that can go wrong that'll stymie my efforts with that.
Yeah, would you describe it as storytelling by yourself, your style of photography?
I just tell people what I see. It's as simple as that. I don't put much gloss on it or spin on it. I just say, Charles came in today and he's had a haircut, or Lando's wearing a black jacket.
You're from Australia, obviously. Last year there were 3 Australian drivers on the grid, and now there is just one after Jack's departure. What's your take on Jack leaving and the decision from Alpine?
I like Jack and I like Franco. I get on both equally, I get on well with both. I'd love both in the same team. That would be ideal, but they're both fighting for the same seat. I feel sorry for Jack, but he did have 7 races, and if you look at Liam, he only had 2 at Red Bull, so Jack's had a better chance than Liam. But to lose that seat altogether, unless, of course, Franco goes terribly, and I don't know, well, we don't know, but we'll wait and see. But I was disappointed for him, but I was also excited for Franco, because Franco is huge with the fans, and I went out on the fence with him after the Imola race, and there were a couple of thousand out there just going crazy. And when you're photographing, a young kid who's popular with a crowd that's frenetic, and like there was a seething heat coming from them too, it was quite phenomenal. That's an exciting and a real buzz for me.
All right, another Australian who's doing quite well this year, Oscar. Do you think he can actually pull it off and take the world title this year to Australia?
I think so. The bookmakers have him as favourite, and you normally follow where the money goes, but you never know. Suddenly some team gets their car firing and Oscar's struggling, but my money's on him to win. I think he's cool under pressure. He makes very few mistakes. For what it's worth, he's a likeable guy.
I agree. Who would be the biggest threat of Oscar? Would it be Max or would it be Lando?
Max.
Why?
Because he's such a good driver, calm under pressure, a fighter. Yeah, that's just my gut feel.
Let's talk about another Australian, Daniel Ricciardo. He's not here anymore, unfortunately. But he gets mentioned a lot at the new team, Cadillac, next year. Do you think we'll see him back
No,
next year?
not in a fit.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
Can you tell me why?
I know stuff. He won't be back.
Okay.
He won't be back.
Sort of a scoop.
Well, I think others have reported it, but I feel confident saying he won't be back.
Which driver is the most fun to capture on camera?
Colapinto at the moment, well, because he's just pumped and he's on fire. He's good fun in the paddock. Who else? Lewis is a challenge because you don't know which way he's going to turn. Sometimes he'll walk in the gate and go left or right, or rarely come right down the middle of the paddock. So he offers us a challenge. But in terms of fun, Lando's great. I think he's starting to get a bit tired of the media, which is understandable because he's now under a lot of pressure, and that must be draining. But yeah, the young kids, Bortoletto's good, Behrman, Kimi Antonelli. At some point, though, I think they all get tired of it.
Yeah, maybe Max as well.
Oh, Max is not interested in anything like that, and nor would you expect him to be. His focus is very much on driving that car.
Yeah, like we know him.
Yeah.
Finally, let's have a prediction for this weekend, the Monaco Grand Prix. What do you expect?
What do I expect? Okay, Charles for back-to-back wins in the Monaco GP. He's done well in practice. He knows his track well. He's popular. Yeah, I'll go with Charles for a win.
Who will join him on the podium?
Pardon? Who will?
Who will join him on the podium?
You'll have Oscar and Pierre Gasly.
That's a bold prediction.
I know, but that's interesting. It gets people talking.